For had they known it, they would not have crucified the controller of glory. And there you go. Who crucified the controller of glory specifically was the Romans, right? With Israel behind it too. They were the drivers of it. So you got to figure that if Rome would have known that, who Jesus was, and respected him and loved him, and really knew who he was, they wouldn't have. Had they known that, they wouldn't have crucified the controller of glory. Same with the Jews. If they would have known that Jesus is the Son of God, the Messiah prophesied to come save the people, they wouldn't have crucified the controller of glory. And when Jesus was on the cross, he said something. He said, Father, forgive them. They know not what they do. They don't know what they're doing. And then you go to verse 9. But as it is written, eye has not seen nor ear heard, neither has entered into the heart, thoughts and emotions, of man, the things which God has prepared for them that love him. So God gives us rewards that we don't understand that we're going to get. We can't, like he's beyond us, so we can't figure out, okay, if we do this, if we follow him in this, then he's going to probably do this for me. He'll surprise us every time. I mean, unless he tells us ahead what he's going to do, But he's bigger. He's always bigger than we think. Verse 10, but God has revealed them unto us by his Spirit. So he does reveal them to us by his Spirit. And it says the things in the previous verse, which God has prepared for them that love him. But God has revealed them unto us by his Spirit. For the Spirit, that's the Holy Spirit, searches all things, yea, the deep things of God. For what man knows the things of a man except the Spirit of man, which is in him? Even so, the things of God knoweth no man but the Spirit of God. We know our own spirit because it's in us, and he knows his spirit because it's in him. He only shares us part of his Spirit and influences from his Spirit. So we don't know it, only he knows it, And in verse 12 it says, no, I just thought of this too. I want to throw this in there with our makeup. The Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. We're in his image, right? In God's image. Let us make man in our own image, that Jesus and Father were saying to each other in Genesis when they made Adam, And it's just he's saying there, there's the Spirit and the soul and the body. So as we have a soul, the Father is the soul of God. And then the Spirit of us that makes us tick, that makes our spirit alive, that makes our soul alive. The Spirit of God is what makes God alive. And then our body, our physical body, whereas God's physical body is Jesus, but then so that's interesting how we're similar to the image of God. We're made after the image of God. So it says too, verse 10, God has revealed them unto us by his Spirit, for the Spirit searches all things, yea, the deep things of God. For what man knows the things of man except the Spirit of man which is in him? Even so the things of God knoweth no man, but the Spirit of God. That's how Jesus said, I and the Father are one. What my Father does, I do. Because they have the same Spirit, and he's the same God. So, Just like we could say about ourselves what our spirit makes, our soul makes our spirit, makes our body do. So there's a connection there that stays. And that's what Jesus is with the Father and the Holy Spirit. Verse 12, now we have received not the spirit of the world. Once again, the world is the orderly arrangement. That's the if you look up the word in the Greek, the word world in the Greek text, and you look it up in the Greek English dictionary, you'll find it'll be the orderly arrangement of the world, the world's orderly arrangement. You know, it's how the world plans to do things, how the world's rules are to orderly arrange everything, you know. And we want to go by God's orderly arrangement, right? Then we will learn to overcome the world. Because you have to go not the way with the world to overcome it. If you go with the world, you're not overcoming it, you're overcome by it. But when you take God's orderly arrangement, only by His Holy Spirit can we truly tap into His orderly arrangement. Then we can overcome the world. So then we have verse 12. We read it already. I'll read it again. Now we have received not the spirit of the world, the Spirit which is of God, that we would know the things that are freely given to us of God, or from God, or by God. Okay? And the reason I say from, of, by, it's that the Greek word for of, it means all those. Depends on how you translate it. You look that Greek word up, it'll say of, from, by, and the definition. Which it means all that, you know. You can read it either way, that are freely given to us by God, they're freely given to us from God, and they're freely given to us of God. Verse 13, which things also we speak, not in the words that man's wisdom, I think it says teacheth, yeah. Go back, I'll read that better. Which things also we speak, not in the words which man's wisdom teaches, but which the Holy Spirit teaches, comparing spiritual things with spiritual.